Hey guys, Heather with Hump Days with Heather on Talking Pools podcast. I hope you're having such a great day, and it's Wednesday, so you should be having fun. We're almost through the week. So, on this episode of Talking Pools podcast, I want to talk about charging for your time. I posted the other week about how we need to start charging as pool builders for designs and on pool building. It takes so much time to design a pool. Between designing and doing the estimate and going through the materials, meeting with the client, having everything on the job site that you need to be able to do that estimate for a swimming pool build takes a lot of time. The debate that we got into on Facebook was about, well, so-and-so doesn't charge, all these big companies don't charge, so how can I justify that cost? For me, what I do, I'm a small company, right? I don't build 500 pools a year, although that would be nice. I don't know if I'd want that headache though, because I want to keep it where I can maintain. I charge anywhere from $800 to $2,000 from a pool build. If they pick from my template and all I have to do is pop in their survey plot, pop that template in and be done, $800. Doesn't take me no time to do that. And I've already got the price out for most of those templates. I just got to go through and change if there's elevations, right? So it doesn't take me a lot of time to do that. But if I'm building a ton of water features, grotto, a sunken fire pit, a patio, outdoor kitchen, I'm going to charge the $2,000 or whatnot. Depends on how big it is, right? Lazy river. I mean, I've done a lot. When it comes to tough ones like that too, I outsourced that pool studio because I'm not that great at pool studio. I'm decent, but I'm not like where I can build all that. So I'm charging somebody to render that part. The small ones I handle myself. That's not a problem. But the big ones like that, I charge. That was going to take me a lot longer to get prices from suppliers, to get prices from the vendors that I have to sub out for the things that I don't do. Then I have to go back and forth, and then I have to do all the changes in the rendering. Then I have to do, so it takes a lot of time for me to do that. I don't understand why people don't charge for this. Just because Joe Blow down the street doesn't charge for it, who cares? That's your time, that's your money, that's your labor, your sweat, your knowledge. If Joe Blow down the street doesn't charge for it, that just sets you apart from that company, right? That sets you apart to hold yourself at a higher standard. That way you're getting rid of the tire kickers, because I was forking out 50 estimates a week. I'm not kidding you. Designing estimates a week. I got burnt out. I was working till 2, 3 in the morning, designing all these estimates. I just couldn't do it anymore. Out of those estimates, I probably closed out of the 50, let's say it may be 50 in like 2 weeks. Okay. But I know it wasn't more than that. Out of those estimates, I probably closed about 5 to 6, maybe 7 off the top of my head. And from those were remodel 3Ds, those were building 3Ds. It didn't matter. It takes time to do a 3D. I learned real quickly the tire kickers didn't really care. If they won't give you a budget, if they won't tell you these are exactly what I need, if they haven't done any research, if they haven't thought about it, because the average person, it takes, once they start thinking about, hey, I want to build a pool, they're not going to go and buy that pool next week. They're going to take months. They're going to research it. They're going to look at what they want. They're going to ask questions. They're going to call builders. They're going to do their back end work for them as the homeowner. And those are the ones that you want to deal with. And by charging, I'm able to weed those out, because what I do is I take that and I roll it into their build. So if or their remodel, whatever I'm doing the 3D on. So if they approve it, it gets built back into their bill. So they're not technically paying for it. And if they choose not to go with me because my price is too high, or they don't like me, or whatever the case may be, then they get my pool studio file, and I tell them up front, I'm like, you're not going to be able to open this, but you're more than welcome to send this to a pool builder that can. I sign my release away. And one thing that I won't do, I've had clients try to send me the pool studio file or send me a picture of somebody's pool studio picture or whatnot. I don't believe that we should be stealing other people's designs. and they're taking that to get prices. Unless they've signed, they've paid for it and they've got a release like I do. That's what you're paying me for as well. I don't think that's ethical, and I don't agree with some of the companies that do that. Like, oh yeah, just give me the design and I'll work numbers off of it. Well, one, you don't know if the design's actually accurate, and two, that's their design. They spent their time, they spent their money in doing it. That's not legally your design. So I don't believe in doing that. If we start charging for our time is valuable. A lot of people in our industry underestimate the value of time. People rather have time back than their money back. Once time is gone, that's all you get. Kids grow up. People grow up. So for me, if you're going to make me spend a Saturday away from my family, like I did today, I'm recording this on a Saturday for Wednesday, but if you make me spend time away from my family on a Saturday, and I dropped him off at his play center at 9 a.m. and I didn't pick him up till like 4:35. And he's got school on Monday. So that means I get one full day with him this week because I've had to work. You're going to pay for that, right? You need to start knowing your worth. Your worth is not $0 for estimate. And I don't care if there's nobody in your town that doesn't charge. Maybe y'all need to have a powwow and be like, hey, X, Y, and Z, we should start charging for this. I don't view the people in DFW as competitors, even though they are. I view them as colleagues, right? Everybody in our industry is our colleague. They shouldn't be viewed as a competitor. If we all come together and help one another out, it's so much better than trying to compete against one another and badmouth one another and push each other aside. But if everybody's on the same page, obviously we're never all going to be on the same page, but the more people you get to do it, because somebody's got to start somewhere, right? I mean, I know I'm not the first person in DFW to charge for a rendering. There's other companies that do it, but somebody started that first. And then we kind of all followed suit, right? I know like Robertson's, I don't think charges the big companies probably don't, but that's probably because they don't have as much overhead. They have more people that do it. They do it during normal work hours. I kind of cater to the clients that need it done on the weekends, that need it more after hours. So you're going to pay me for that time. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how Robertson's does it, but there's just a big builder here that I think about off the top of my head that I know that does not charge. But most of the smaller companies do charge for the 3Ds here in DFW. So I say to you, if you say, well, nobody in my area does that. Well, you can start with the first. Just start with a small amount. I mean, even $300, $500, whatever small amount you want to do. Hell, even a service call fee. Cover your gas, your truck maintenance, all that. Because you got to go out on the job and take measurements. I mean, even though, like right here next to me, I have, let's see. I have a pretty little survey. See? That I just did today. And it has all of my elevations. It has all of my measurements. The only thing that wasn't on this pretty little survey for me was the back patio. But had I not gone out there, the homeowner emailed me, or not emailed me, but he emailed me this survey, but I printed it. But he also gave me another pretty little survey that they're adding on to their house. They're adding a pool house outside of us that they've already had the engineer come out and do the drawings and all that. And then I have to go out and measure openings. I've got to measure the pool, what they want, where they want it, so on and so forth. Now, if I don't have to physically go out to the property and they send me the survey and the survey is very detailed like this, and I'm only missing a couple of measurements, obviously I'm not going to charge as much, but you're still paying for my time to do that 3D rendering. So I always tell you, hey, somebody's got to start somewhere. Learn from people's mistakes. Learn that our industry is a valued industry and it takes an army to deal sometimes with certain clients. And know your worth and start charging your worth. Stop giving free estimates. I don't understand why, if you're driving you're giving a free estimate. That's your gas, that's your maintenance, that's your time. If you're doing 3D renderings, that's your time. You can hire people to do 3D renderings. I outsource some of mine and they get paid. They don't do it for free, so why should we do it for free? Think about that. All right. Well, again, I'm Heather with Hump Days with Heather. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.